Hey, wealth creation investors and traders, Matt Buckley, the chief investment strategist here at Wealth Creation Investing, or WCI. An interesting day in the market so far, folks. Obviously, unless you live in a cave, you know that commodities are just getting obliterated. Gold is getting pounded into the ground. Well, once you see a massive sell-off like this in commodities, especially gold, it only gets worse because exchanges, brokers, they all hike their margin requirements or all have margin calls, and people either have to sell those gold positions or post more cash or collateral to pay for it. And that's also why you're seeing the equities market sell off today, is people are scrambling for margin calls. Okay, so again, this is just absolutely unprecedented sell-off. We haven't seen this in 30 years, this 2 day of panic selling. And even Dennis Gartman, who breathes and sleeps gold for the past 40 years, the guy's an absolute gold 500-pound head. Never seen anything like it. So it's just like he said, a lot of people are throwing up their hands. So in this type of situation, I had a live trading session this morning where we were talking about gold for just a little bit, when people said, well, now is it a good time to buy? Have we found a bottom? Folks, do not ever try and catch a falling knife. When the crowd is panicking and running in a direction, don't be the person that steps in the way and tries to tell everybody to calm down, okay? Give it a little bit of time. As I told my traders this morning over at Top Gun Options, I said nobody rings a bell at the bottom or the top of the market. So it's not like somebody's going to, an air horn's going to sound tomorrow or the next day. All right, the selling in gold is over with. Now we can get airborne again. So yeah, I believe it's starting to enter oversold territory. But again, it's gold, folks. Gold doesn't trade on PE. It doesn't trade on positive cash flow. It doesn't trade on EBITDA. It moves on emotions. And right now, the market is extremely emotional about gold. So either get out of the way or get in the way and join the crowd, for example, by putting on a bearish double vertical, an options position that is a bear call spread and a bear put spread on top of each other that can capitalize on a potential further downward movement in gold or the GLD. Bad news out of China last night. Now, I've been a China bull for some time. I remain a China bull in China shop, just because they own us, literally, with their treasuries. They are hacking into everything. They're probably hacking into me talking right now. You can't help but be bullish on China. However, the economic data that came out last night, their GDP fell. They were looking for about an 8% rate of growth and only 7.7. And the retail sales were flat. Industrial production came in down. So not necessarily good news out of China. So starting to see a little pressure on China here. Where am I looking as far as potential overseas investment? Guess what? It's Japan. Folks, and it's funny, this headline, Treasury Secretary Liu, our new Treasury Secretary, he's got the gall to warn Japan on the yen and devaluing the yen. Treasury says policies must be aimed at growth, not competitive advantage. Really, dude? Do you know what the Fed's doing here in the United States? No wonder people around the world hate America. We are arrogant. We're devaluing and debasing our dollar by printing $85 billion a month, but God forbid somebody else does. Well, we'll shake our finger at you. Really, Mr. Secretary? So I'm bullish on Japan. Just like our Fed's printing money and making this market go higher and higher and higher, that's what I think is going to happen over in Japan. Big week this week, folks, on housing. There are a lot of housing reports coming out. Especially tomorrow, NAHB, housing index, new home permits, bunch of news throughout the week on housing. So people have been saying, 500-pound heads have been saying, well, the housing market's the one green shoot in this market that's going to pull us out of this malaise. Well, guess what? On Friday, we saw JP Morgan and Wells Fargo report disappointing results. First of all, on cost cutting, they're making a little bit of money, but their net interest margin, the amount of money they make borrowing and then turning around and lending that money, mainly to homeowners in this case, not good at all. So the refi boom, the mortgage boom, starting to cool off a little bit. So if the 500-pound heads are right that housing is going to pull us out of this malaise, Well, guess what? Two big canaries in the coal mine dropped dead on Friday and are warning that it's not looking so hot in the mortgage market. So it's going to be an interesting week, folks. Um, we've pulled back today, but we're bouncing off this level. I put on a bull put spread on the SPX this morning in a live trading session. Look at this. We're really holding this 1575 line is support today. Here's 1575. Let's just call it 1576. Every time we're hitting 1576 today, we're bouncing off of it. So it looks like this is going to be another one of those days where even though the market should potentially be down triple digits, it's not. You can't fight the Fed. The Dow is down 100, 104 points at its lowest, and we're already off our lows. So again, folks, we're in bizarro market. Good news is bad news is good news, and you can't fight the Fed. So guess what? We're not going to fight the Fed. So again, I put on a bull put spread on SPX this morning. That's looking pretty good, and also a iron condor on Google that's looking pretty good going into earnings. It's an earnings trade, folks. If you're really confused about what's going on in this market, make sure you join me tomorrow morning at 0900. If you can't make it, don't worry. It'll be recorded. You can watch it at your leisure in our primary live trade brief. Tomorrow's is going to be a critical primary live trade brief because I'm going to put out my strategic mindset. Going to make sense of what's going on with gold, make sense of what's going on with China. I'm going to get bullish on Japan, and I'm going to take a look at some potential earnings trades. So if this market's kind of creeping you out and you have no idea what's going on, come take a look. Give us a test flight in our primary live trade brief tomorrow morning. Go to topgunoptions.com/TA-LTB and scroll down, and you can either take a 2-week trial to hang out and trade with me in primary live trade briefs and trade alerts, or if you're a little more advanced and you kind of know what you're doing trading options, you can go into intermediate and advanced for a 2-week test flight, or do what most traders do when they start here at Top Gun Options. They give all our live trading and trade alert services a test flight for 2 weeks, and they stay. We've had traders here for 3 years. They found a home, and they're not going anywhere. So good stuff going on here at Top Gun Options. So I will see many of you tomorrow morning at 0900 in our primary live trade brief. Happy hunting, and make sure you hedge.